All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to graph linear inequalities. Today's the first day you're seeing this. We're going to be spending the rest of the week doing these so that we can make sure we're pretty good at it because we will be using this skill periodically. So if you didn't watch the video from yesterday, you're probably going to be pretty lost because I'm going to, kind of just continue from where the video leaves off. So you may have to go back and get those notes because there's some really important stuff in there. So let me go ahead and get started here. First of all, when you graph an inequality, you graph it just like a line. You need a slope and you need a y-intercept. In this case, my slope is 1, my y-intercept is a -2. So unfortunately, I do not have my axes drawn here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw these guys. I'm just going to throw it right in the middle. If you're going to put these in your notes, you really just need the x and the y, and then the rest of it can kind of just, be an estimate. So my y-intercept is at -2, which is down here, and I have a slope of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and plot those points. And for those of you that actually did watch the video, you should be able to tell me if this is a solid or dashed line. Very good, thank you. It is dashed because we do not have an equal sign. Remember the whole open and closed circle when we were graphing them on a number line? This is an open circle. With open circle, you would need space in between, I guess. You can kind of help yourself remember that way, while a closed circle would include those points. So then the next step in this process is to shade. Are we going to be shading above or below this line? I hear different answers, but let's shade below because it says that y is less than that line. So all the values where y is less are right here. So we need to make sure that we're including those values. All right, for this next one, we have to get y by itself. So I'm going to divide everything by 2 to get that 2 away from the y. So then I'm left with y equals 1/2, not equals, sorry, habits, die hard. It would be y is less than 1/2 x plus 3. Notice I didn't flip my sign. I was dividing by 2, but it wasn't a negative, so I didn't have to flip it. So now I'm going to go ahead and create my x and y axis. And now I'm going to start with my y-intercept, which is +3, which is up here. And then I have a slope of 1/2, so I'm going to go up 1/2. And I'll continue in both directions. Now this is the same inequality symbol as this one, so I know it's going to be a dashed line. The next part of the process is deciding if we're shading above or below. Again, going back to that same symbol, correct? And again, it's saying that all the y values need to be less, so that would be all these values that are less than that point or that line. So far, so good? Again, if you watched the video, you should be in a good place. If you didn't, then you maybe have to go back and watch that before you do your assignment for today. Let's look at this next one. In this case, we actually have a line or an inequality that is graphed, and we're going to rewrite this. So in order to do this, we need an m and we need the b. So I'm going to start with my b, which is pretty quick to see, is a 4, +4. And now I'm going to go to the slope. My slope is between these 2 points, I rise 1, 2, 3, so it has a rise of 3 and a run of 1, but it's negative. So when I simplify this, this is a -3. Okay. Now that I have my slope and my y-intercept, I can write my y in y equals mx plus b. So I would have y, I'm going to leave it open for right now, equals negative 3x plus 4. So we need to decide what symbol we're going to use. What kind of line do we have here? Is it solid or dotted? Or dashed, I'm sorry. I say dotted sometimes, but you know what I mean. It's solid. So that means I'm going to have an equal sign, right? And it's shaded above, so it's including all those y values up top. So that means it'll be y is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 4. I know. Okay. Questions about this so far? All right. Let's continue. So now what we're actually going to do is graph a couple more inequalities. I really want you to attempt to draw these in your notes because these are going to come in handy. Again, all you have to do is draw the x and y axis. So I'm actually going to label my x and y axis really quickly. I'm going to shift it over a little bit. So this is my y and my x. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one right now while I'm labeling. So this is the y, this is x. It doesn't need to be fancy, you guys, obviously. Mine's pretty rough there. All right. Now I have where x is less than negative 5. So I'm going to go where x is negative 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is right here. Put a point. Because we only have x, and x is less than negative 5, I'm going to be drawing a vertical line that goes through negative 5. But I need to decide, is that line going to be solid or dashed? It will be dashed because good job, Daniel. We don't have that equal sign. So it is a dashed line. It might be kind of hard to see. Let me see. I can make that better. Okay. So now we need to decide, are we going to shade to the left or to the right? If it says x is less than, think about that number line. Where are those values going to be less than negative 5? We can only shade left or right. Left. Thank you. Left. Because if your number line, remember this is negative 6 right here. So that's going to be less than negative 5. Okay. All right, let's try another. I have y is less than or equal to 2. So I'm going to go where y is 2 and put my point. Ethan, are you outside right now? Lucky. All right. When we had the x equation, that was vertical. So now we have y, so it's horizontal. Is this going to be a solid or dotted line? Solid, yes, because we have the equal sign. Okay, next question. Are we shading above or below? It's y is less than. So where are all those y's less? They're below, correct? So it would be here. So today your assignment is going